Yo, let's get it, dude. Hey, hey, we live. Yo, we live. I'm gonna play. So if you're over on YouTube right now, I'm gonna play some PGA. I haven't played PGA in a hot minute. But I'm also gonna answer some of your questions. So if you come over, um, live over here on YouTube, Aspire Sports Show, and I'm gonna play some PGA while I also answer questions. So let's get it. I don't really remember what to do here. Okay, here we go. So you gotta play here. I haven't played PGA so in a hot minute. So we're gonna see how this goes here. What's going on? How you doing, J4? Henderson or James Robinson? So let me double check this. Did Henderson practice yesterday? As long as as long as he plays, I'm gonna play Daryl Henderson. Game time decision, so he's a game time decision. But as long as he plays for me, I'm gonna play him personally. Choose new contract. I haven't played this in like forever, so we're gonna try this out. Play some PGA. I'm gonna just do medium because I haven't done this in forever. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Pick two: Odell, Shepard, or Chark Chase. Okay, so if T. Higgins is officially out, I'm gonna go Jamar Chase. And then I'm gonna go with, honestly, I'm gonna go with Odell. I like him a lot this week. Let's see. What's up? What's up? How you guys doing? Gaskin or Rondell Moore? For me, Myles Gaskin. Hey, Tyler. How's it going, man? How you doing? Ozzy. Or Ozai. I always forget how to pronounce it. Let me know. Hit that like button. Yes, if you could. Hit that like button for me. Really appreciate it. And if you're over on TikTok, we're live over here on YouTube. What's up, brother? Thanks for all the great advice. I need flex non-PPR Trey Sermon or Gibson. For me, I'm still going to go with Gibson here. Henry or Jarwin? Hunter Henry or Jarwin? I'm going to go with Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry. Unless, I know you're a Cowboys fan. So listen, if you want to go with your Cowboys, go with it. Henderson, James Robinson, Tyson Williams, or A.J. Brown? Only one of them? I'm going to go with A.J. Brown still. And how's everybody doing? Yo, we are live right now over on YouTube. If you're over on TikTok, come over to YouTube answering your questions. What's up? We got C.H. Woods for Mixon. I would do that. I would want Mixon, yes. Higgins, play, Chark. If Higgins plays, Chark, Chase, Shepard. I would play Shepard out of all of them if T. Higgins plays. All right, guys. This is my first time playing PGA in a long time. I don't quite remember how to do this here. So this is going to be ugly to start, okay? Let's see. Okay, I remember how to do that. Oh, baby, a little fast. Going a little bit right. Yo, who likes golf, though? Who doesn't like golf? You know what I mean? And who doesn't like video games? I love video games. Go live over on YouTube. Drop Tyson Williams? Absolutely not. Keep Tyson Williams. Gronk or Pitts? How do you feel? Or wait, how do you feel about the Panthers defense after Thursday's injuries? So, oh man, we're lagging a little bit on YouTube right now. Oh, the stream is a little laggy with me playing here. That doesn't look very good. So I'm gonna close this actually right now because it's a little laggy. Let me quit. All right. I'm gonna close this. I don't know what it's gonna go to then. This is not looking good though. I don't think my computer can handle streaming and going live on the same stuff. So I might have to close this out here. I don't know what it's gonna go to once I close it out. It might be just a black screen. Let me get it pulled back up here though. I'm gonna put it. I was probably burning a ton of CPU there. Let me see. Drop. Yeah. Let me get. I'll pull up something. Tab there. All right, I'll pull up. Let me pull up some PFF. Let's look at some PFF stuff. All right, we'll go PFF. Okay, so we have some questions here. How do you feel about the Panthers defense after Thursday's injuries? Yeah, I mean it's tough. I still think that their defensive front's really solid still. So we'll see. I forget who they play next week. Who do they play next week? I'd have to look. Gronk or Pitts? I'm gonna go Gronk. PPR flex, Edmonds or Amari Cooper or Shepard. I'm going to go with Amari Cooper over all of them. Trey Sermon or Jamal Williams. Trey Sermon for me. Scary Terry or Debo. Scary Terry. Pitts or Kittle. I'm going with Kittle still. I'm still rolling with Kittle. Higbee or Ingram. If Ingram plays, I'm still going to go with I like Higbee this week. He's a top 10 guy for me. Hey, man, how you doing? I hope you're doing good. Hey, appreciate you, Ricardo. Nyheim Hines worth pickup in full point PPR? Absolutely, I think he's worth a pickup. Absolutely. And if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button for me and subscribe to the channel. And if you're over on TikTok, think about following. Appreciate every single one of you. Hurts versus Carr. Give me Hurts. Should I pick up Chuba Hubbard? Yes, absolutely. He needs to be rostered in all leagues right now. He was definitely like the guy for Carolina after you had CMC leave the game. So he absolutely needs to be rostered in all leagues going forward. Waller or Hawkinson? Still Waller for me. I have, for my rankings, it goes Kelsey, then Darren Waller, then Hawkinson for this week. Herbert or Carr? Herbert. Brady or Daniel Jones? Brady. CEH or Shepard? Shepard. Give me Sterling Shepard. Cordell Patterson or Trey Sermon? Trey Sermon for me. Beasley, Chenault, or White at flex? Beasley, Chenault, White. That's tough. Oh, wait, you have Fuller too? Okay, I didn't see Fuller in there. I have to double check my rankings right quick. Let me get that pulled up. I want to say I would lean James White. I want to double check though. Where I have White ranked. Hold on one sec. James White, where's he at? Yes, I would go James White. So James White for me over all those guys. Cordell Patterson and Trey Sermon, DK, Allen, or Ridley. Only one of them? Gosh. I would go Calvin Ridley, but it is close with him and DK for me. What do I do about Daryl Henderson? He's questionable, or should I start Trey Sermon over him? Me personally, I would still start Henderson if he plays. If he plays, I'm playing Daryl Henderson. If he plays. One more question. Tennessee or Saints defense? For me, Tennessee's defense. Or Saints defense. I know that Tennessee might get Jacob Eason at quarterback. Has Carson Wentz been ruled out? Carson Wentz. Let me see. Has he been ruled out? I don't think he's been ruled out, or maybe he has been. No, Carson Wentz is expected to start. Hey, look at that. Carson Wentz is playing. So, no, I'm definitely... That Tennessee's defense looks so bad. So, I'm not doing that. All right, thanks, man. Hey, you're welcome. No problem. And the Saints defense still looks fine. Like, I know last week they didn't play that well, but there was 8 coaches out last week for New Orleans. Appreciate everybody being a part of the live stream. Tampa Bay's defense or Las Vegas? Las Vegas. But I have Trey Sermon. So I don't think Elijah Mitchell's going to play. I don't believe he's practiced all week. I'm pretty sure he's doubtful, right? So I don't think, yeah, very questionable. I doubt he plays. So if you have Elijah Mitchell, just sit him. It will be interesting to see. So tonight we'll know, like Adam Scheffler usually does it late at night, or Adam Scheffler does it, I'm pretty sure. But he usually releases like inactives late at night. So we'll probably know, like with T. Higgins, if he's going to be active. We probably won't know with Trey Sermon, possibly know with Trey Sermon. I'm going to start Ridley this week over DK. Yeah, I would do that. How can I find if he plays? We'll let you know. I mean, you could always follow us and we'll let you know. But we should know what time is that game at 4:00. We might not know tomorrow. If you're nervous and you have a good, like, because here's the thing with Daryl Henderson, it's already a terrible matchup for Daryl Henderson, right? So if you're nervous about playing Daryl Henderson because you're not sure if he's going to play and you have a decent option, like I would just play that option over him because it's already a really tough matchup. And Daryl Henderson's going to need to score a touchdown, in my opinion, to really have a solid fantasy week because he's definitely not going to get the yardage. So I would just go with like your other option if you want. Wentz is going to play. How's the captain tie today? How's the captain tie today? What, Ryan? I got some Tim Hortons, baby. I got some coffee. Some black coffee. Just drinking it black. Ugh. But hey, it gives me some energy here. Please do not spam chat. Please do not spam chat. I will answer your question. Listen. Hey, is Kyle still here? All right. I was calling you the captain, dude. Hey, appreciate it, Ryan. Come on, don't spam chat. Please do not spam chat. Like, I will answer your question. Just please do not spam chat. I subbed. Hey, appreciate you subbing. Alec Helfrich. Huh? Whoa, bruh. Helfrich. Do I start Trey Sermon or Damian Harris? Trey Sermon. What do you think about starting Jamar Chase this weekend? If T. Higgins is out, like I love Jamar Chase this weekend. What time is the lineup cutoff? 1 o'clock usually. Like if you have a player that's playing after, it depends. Like all leagues are different. Some leagues you have to have your starting lineup in at 1 o'clock, but there's other leagues where you can, put your, like, if you have, say, Daryl Henderson, I think that game's at 4. I could be wrong, though. But if you have Daryl Henderson, and then you also have an option that's later, like, you can sit Daryl Henderson for that other option if Daryl Henderson's ruled out. But every league's different. You just got to know the settings. Yo, 2 flex spots. Who do I play for Trey Sermon, Gaskin, Devontae Smith, full point PPR? As long as Elijah Mitchell's out, I'm going to go with Trey Sermon there. Yes. Is D-Hop going to play this week? I'd like to think so. I mean, he hasn't practiced, but he's also a guy that constantly plays on the questionable tag. So I honestly believe he'll probably play this week. Let me see. I'm just going to keep this up right here. So would that mean I put Trey Sermon over Daryl Henderson? I would put him if you're nervous, yes. Trade OBJ and Carson for Diggs, W or L. I like that trade. He needs an RB. Yeah, I would say that's W. PPR, I start Trey Sermon or Damian Harris. Me, Trey Sermon. Let's see. Flex PPR, David Montgomery, Chris Carson, and Amari Cooper. You need a flex in an RB2. So I'm going to go with, I have Chris Carson higher and Amari Cooper. I think Tanner has a question. Yeah, I think so as well. Listen, I had to time him out, okay? And Tanner, I would go Mike Williams over Rondell Moore if you're still in the chat. Just please do not spam chat. Like, come on. There's a bunch of other people in the chat that want to ask a question. You don't need to be spamming it every single second. Like, I see your question, but I'm getting to other people that have asked before you. So, like, just be considerate, please. I'll get to your question. Juju, Shepard, Odell, pick 2. For me, I'm going to go with Odell and Sterling Shepard. Damian Harris or Trey Sermon. So after the injury matchup, not in his favor, do I start Trey over Henderson? I would go Trey over Henderson, yes, this week. Mike or Tyson Williams? Tyson Williams. D-Hop or Keenan Allen this week? For me personally, D-Hop, as long as he plays. Am I crazy for wanting to start Pittman over Allen Robinson? I would say a little crazy, but I do love Pittman this week. Don't get me wrong. You start your wide receivers against Tennessee. That's what you do. But I would still start Allen Robinson. Should I start Sutton or Godwin? I personally have Sutton ranked higher. James Robinson or Mike Davis this week? For me, James Robinson. After this, I got that one. I would go Trey. Mark Andrews or Logan Thomas rest of the season? For me, Mark Andrews. Gaskin or Devontae Smith? I'm going to honestly go Gaskin here. Start OBJ? Yes, start OBJ. Well, it depends on who you have. Like, it depends on your other options. Start OBJ over Cooper? No, I would go Amari Cooper. Yo, what's up, Uzi? How you doing? And how's everybody doing? If you haven't already, do me a big favor, smash that like button and consider subscribing, following the channel. Appreciate every single one of you. Gaskin or Pollard? Gaskin. Yo, Saquon a good start? Yes, he is. Thanks so much, man. I subbed. Have a great day. You too, James. Appreciate you. Mike Williams or Trey Sermon? That's an interesting question here, okay? As long as Elijah Mitchell's out, I like Trey Sermon a lot this week. I like Trey Sermon. I would go Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon or Rondell Moore. Once again, as long as Elijah Mitchell is officially ruled out this week, which it looks like it's a really good chance, I'm going Trey Sermon. Pittman, Damian Harris, or J-Rob at the flex. For me, I'm going James Robinson still. I have Amari, A.J. Brown, and Keenan Allen. Who do I bench for Sutton or keep them? So, personally, I would probably keep... It is close. Let me double check here with my... wide receiver rankings, because I do really love Sutton this week. I want to just see where I have Amari Cooper. Where's Sutton? Right there. Yeah, so I still have Amari Cooper ranked higher. But as long as Amari Cooper can go, like he should be. Is he okay? Do we know what? I'm assuming he's questionable. Probably. Did he practice yesterday? Expects to play. Yeah. He plans to play, so I would go with Amari Cooper. But here's the thing: if you don't want to go like Amari Cooper or somebody that's hurt and you have a really good option, like just go the other option. That's fine. Like especially with Sutton, I only have Sutton a couple spots behind him, and I love Sutton this week. I think he could have a big week this week. Are all the Steelers players playing, or are all the Steelers players still injured? That was most of them going to play. So I know Deontay Johnson's out. Alex Highsmith is out officially. I think TJ Watt's questionable heading into this week. I mean, you already have Tyson. Is Devin Bush going to start? Is Devin Bush playing this week? I don't know if he's playing. Returns, yeah. Okay, so they're hopeful that TJ Watt's going to play. So Devin Bush he's going to play, but TJ Watt's still questionable. And if TJ Watt is out, man, I don't really like that defense a whole lot. Thanks, man. I subbed. I'll probably be back with more questions. Have a good day. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. Pittman or White, half-point PPR, or Gaskin. I'm still going to go Gaskin here, but it is really... Oh, no, yes. Well, actually, let me rethink that, because I did think... When I was making my projections, I did have Carson Wentz out. I didn't think Carson Wentz was going to play this week, so I'm actually a little surprised that he is playing. So, I didn't rank Pittman as high as I probably would, with Carson Wentz playing. And also I need to adjust my ranks for Chase Claypool now that Deontay Johnson's officially out. So let me update my rankings real quick. Where Chase Claypool, I gotta adjust him real quick. All right, so Chase Claypool. So currently I have Michael Pittman as wide receiver 27 this week. Where is my running back rankings? Gaskin. Where do I have Gaskin? Oh, yeah, so I would go Michael Pittman over Gaskin, officially. Nick Chubb projections. I'll look that up, and let me keep answering a couple questions here. Since I'm getting behind, let's see. We got... Appreciate you guys. Which wide receiver would you trade away out of Metcalf, Cook, Shepard, Woods, and Ayuk? I mean, I would try to trade Ayuk, but I would try to trade Shepard because his value is really high right now. Jamar Chase on Sunday, or risk Cooper for Monday night? I think Cooper's going to play. Well, if Jamar Chase so if T. Higgins is out, I would play Jamar Chase. But if T. Higgins plays, we should probably know tonight if T. Higgins is going to play. Probably not. Maybe tomorrow. But they said that he was going to possibly turn into a questionable. So that's good. Let me see. Let me get going back here. If I didn't answer your questions, just go ahead and ask them once again. Does that make Joe Mixon a safe play? Yeah, I would still play Joe Mixon. Javonte Williams or Chase Claypool? Me personally, I would go Javonte Williams. I love Javonte Williams. I don't think Watt's playing. Well, he's questionable, so we'll have to see. We'll know that game's at 1:00, so we'll know early. George Kittle, Trey Sermon, or Kenny Golladay? No tight end. Personally, I would go Trey Sermon this week, as long as Elijah Mitchell's out. Let's see. I know this is a no-brainer, but still has me wondering, would you start Antonio Gibson over Trey Sermon? Assuming yes, but Gibson has been clapping the bed. I would still go with Antonio Gibson, yes. Still go Antonio Gibson. Yo, what's up? How's everybody doing? Starting Tyson Williams over Mixon is insane. Yeah, that's a bit crazy. I would still play Mixon, but I really do like Trey Sermon this week. Joe Mixon is top 5 back this year. I don't know about top 5, but I would definitely say like Mixon workload alone is top 10. Do I start Najee, Amari Cooper, Godwin, or Monty full point PPR? Full point PPR, I'm still going to go with Najee just because he's seeing like all the work here. But it's close between him and Amari Cooper. I'm not confident about him versus Steelers defense, and he had a bad game versus the Bears. Yeah, hey, I mean, I feel you. I love Tyson Williams this week. I think this is a great week to start Tyson Williams. Who should I start? Tyson Williams, Cordell Patterson, or Joe Mixon? I would still go with Joe Mixon personally. I currently have Mixon, Tyson Williams, Gaskin, Patterson. Is CH still worth keeping? He hasn't been great, and that seems a ceiling. Listen, Joe Mixon, yes, you still keep him, but he doesn't look that good. To be honest with you, he looks very average. So if you can trade him away, I would try to trade him away. Pick 2, full point PPR. We got Monty, A-Rob, Tyson Williams. For me, I'm gonna go with Allen Robinson and Monty. Start Joe Mixon. He's a baller, and the Steelers front line is injured. They do have, so Steelers front line has Tuitt's out. He's on PUP. And then Tyson Alualu fractured his ankle last week, so he's done for season. TJ Watt's questionable, but it is a groin injury, so at any moment he could probably get hurt again and leave the field. And that defense did not look that good last week with those guys hurt. Tyson Alualu is a massive blow to that Steelers defense. And you had Devin Bush out last week, but Tyler Lockett or A.J. Brown? For me personally, Tyler Lockett. All right, I trust you. Uzi, I trust you. Hey, listen, go with your gut. I always say go with your gut, you know? Always go with your gut. I have Josh Jacobs and Mike Davis, Thielen or Antonio Gibson and Calvin Ridley. Go or no go? Adam Thielen oh yeah, definitely. Wait. You're getting Antonio Gibson and Calvin Ridley for Adam Thielen? 100% I would do that. Need upside due to CMC hurt. Oh, that's rough. CMC getting hurt. That's really tough. Oh, they officially ruled out TJ Watt? They did? TJ Watt's officially inactive? Oh, so this just happened an hour ago. Okay, I have my phone on Do Not Disturb right now. I'm not getting the notifications. Okay, so in that case, I like the Bengals then. The offense, TJ Watt being out, and you have Alex Highsmith out as well. So now they're missing both of their pass rushers. You do have Melvin Ingram there, but with Tyson Alualu out, Stephon Tuitt, and now TJ Watt, and Alex Highsmith, those are some massive blows to the Steelers defense. Already, week 3 of the NFL season. Wow. I'm starting Cook and Mixon with full confidence. Love my man Mixon. Yes, and Mixon, he's getting like 20 plus touches a game. You can't sit him. Najee or Nick Chubb? Nick Chubb for me. Cook or Harris? Cook. I trade Odell and Mike Davis for Claypool and Pitts. Thoughts? For Claypool and Pitts. I mean, I guess if you need a tight end, that's solid. Would you trade Najee or would you trade Tyson Williams for Trey Sermon? Personally, I wouldn't. I would keep Tyson Williams. I like Trey Sermon. Hey, he has a lot of opportunity here this week, but let's think about a couple things. Okay, it's now taken injury to Mostert, to Elijah Mitchell, JaMychal Hasty, for Trey Sermon to now have a shot. Like, if Elijah Mitchell comes back next week and Trey Sermon doesn't look good, like, what do we think is going to happen? I think Elijah Mitchell is probably going to start. So I don't have a whole lot of faith in Trey Sermon. Now, if he goes out and balls against Green Bay, then, hey, he might be the starter for the rest of the season. But you also have Jeff Wilson coming back soon. TJ Watt is out, yes, officially out. Tyson Williams, Let's see. Tyson Williams or Henderson, full point PPR. I would probably go with Tyson Williams, personally. I had a gut feeling about a big game from Teddy, but I have Rodgers versus... I would still go with Rodgers personally, but Teddy could have a really solid game this week. Absolutely. What would you do, or what would be a good return for trading David Montgomery? I'm worried about Tariq Cohen coming back in a few weeks. So if you want to trade David Montgomery, I mean, me personally, I'm still looking for like at least a top 20 wide receiver. Personally, I'm looking for more like a top 15 wide receiver for David Montgomery because, like, yes, you might have Tariq Cohen coming back, but David Montgomery is just like still a top 20 back, and backs are really hard to come by. So I'm still looking for like a really good return on David Montgomery. I wouldn't trade him just because Tariq Cohen might be coming back. I would still keep him. Does this trade benefit me, Josh Jacobs, Mike Davis, and Thielen for Antonio Gibson and Calvin Ridley? If you're getting Calvin Ridley and Antonio Gibson, absolutely. How high does that pump up Jamar Chase? So for me, it depends on which Jamar Chase. Is T. Higgins out now? Has he been ruled out? For me, it just depends on T. Higgins. If T. Higgins is out, like, Jamar Chase for me is a borderline top 20 wide receiver. T. Higgins is doubtful. We'll have to see with T. Higgins. Because he at least did practice on Friday, which is good. So we'll have to see with him. Saquon over A.J. Brown at flex? Yes, I would. Would you try and trade Kupp for a top 5 wide receiver? Yeah, I would do that. I have Mixon and Chase, but I don't think I can start 2 Bengals. I mean, I would. If T. Higgins is out, I like Jamar Chase a lot. Should I start Cordell Patterson facing the Giants or Melvin Gordon? I would go with Melvin Gordon still. What running backs do you think I could or should get for Sterling Shepard and Logan Thomas? What running backs? It's hard to say like exactly what you could get. Every league is different, and people value their like every player differently. So it's really hard for me to say who exactly. But like Sterling Shepard's a really good guy to try to sell high right now for a guy that's maybe hurting for a wide receiver. But wide receiver depth is so... I just think wide receivers are kind of like a dime a dozen, to be honest with you. And I'm fine with rolling with like 4 wide receivers at my roster and then like 8 running backs. So it's really hard to say. Like I would target maybe a guy like Chase Edmonds, a guy like Myles Gaskin, like guys like that people might be not so much Chase Edmonds, but definitely Myles Gaskin, where people are losing a little bit of hope. Also a guy like James Robinson, maybe people are losing hope. So I would try to target one of those guys. Should I start Rondale Moore or OBJ? So if DeAndre Hopkins is out this week, fire up Rondale Moore as a top 20 play. But if he plays, I'm still going to go with OBJ. Who should I start at my flex this week? Allen Robinson, Zach Pascal, Rondale Moore, Cordell Patterson. Allen Robinson over all of them. Shepard or Godwin at flex. For me, it's still Godwin. Stafford or Brady? I have Brady ranked higher. How do you feel when my team puts up 200 against you week 1 and hey, I mean, stuff happens, but my team's gonna be just great. Okay, I'm gonna win that league. Where is Saquon ranked at RBs for this week? Saquon is a top 10 play. Where do I have Saquon ranked currently? I have Saquon ranked 9th behind Zeke currently. Mike Williams or Shepard for the season? For me, Mike Williams right now. It is close between both these guys. Sterling Shepard's been playing really well, but man, Mike Williams has been impressive. I was not high. Okay. I like to do, like, I obviously like to say guys that I was high on, like, I loved Hawkinson. I've said this a bunch of times about Hawkinson in the preseason, that he's going to be up in that upper tier of tight ends come next year in drafts. Tyler Lockett, loved him. I love talking about guys that I love. But one guy that I definitely wasn't that high on was Mike Williams, and he's been really good. So, hey, if you drafted Mike Williams, congrats, because he looks really good right now. Mahomes or Josh Allen? For me, I'm going to go with Mahomes. Josh Allen, quite frankly, does not look good right now. Josh Allen doesn't look good, okay? And I'm going to say this. Coming into the season, I was a little bit nervous about Josh Allen, because you look at last season. Last season was such a weird season just for the NFL in general. Josh Allen took a massive jump. A jump that was an outlier jump that we really haven't seen a quarterback that goes for like a 55% completion percentage to up to like near 70%. It was a jump that you don't see. Okay. Now of course he gets Stephon Diggs, and that was a big part of why he makes that jump. But right now, Josh Allen does not look that good, people. I'm not saying Josh Allen is going to regress back to where he was, but there's definitely a little bit of concern. It's only 2 weeks. Don't overreact. But if he does not look good this week, it's time to really start saying, okay, was last year a fluke? And is he reverting back to what he was his first 2 seasons? And this is what he is. I mean, let's not overreact, but it's definitely, you can start to ask that question. But he's played 2 tough defenses the first 2 weeks, so we'll give him that. Stafford or Brady? Brady is Saquon. Oh, I got these ones. Who wins this trade? Claypool and Swift for Eckler and Rondell Moore? I think that's pretty even, honestly. I would probably lean. You know me, I'm a big Swift guy, so I'm gonna go with Swift, baby. I'm guessing you gave up on PGA. Yeah, it was lagging too much. Was it lagging for you guys? Like, I would love to play it, but it definitely looked like it was lagging. Like, if it wasn't lagging, I mean, let me know, but it definitely looked like I was dropping frame rates over there on the stream. It looked like it was lagging a little bit. I'll see you in the playoffs, dog. Hey, you won't be in the playoffs, Josh. Got him. No, I'm just kidding. I'll see you in the playoffs. James Robinson or Myles Gaskin? James Robinson. Shepard or Rondell Moore? Shepard. Williams or OBJ for the rest of the season? That's close. I want to say Williams right now, but we'll see how OBJ looks this upcoming week. It's going to be interesting to see how he looks. I would say, honestly, OBJ, if he looks really good, because I like OBJ, especially with Jarvis Landry out. But I want to see how he looks exactly coming off this knee injury. How do you think OBJ will do? I like OBJ a lot for the rest of the season. I do. How does Josh Jacobs look for week 4? Hey, he was very questionable this week. We'll have to see. I can't. I'm not a medical doctor, unfortunately. I can't give my opinion. I'm not sure. And maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't. I don't really know, but if you've been listening to the channel, he was somebody that I wasn't high on heading into the season. And after week 1, he was definitely somebody I was telling everybody to sell. So if you still have Josh Jacobs, I know it's probably really hard to sell Josh Jacobs, but if you have Josh Jacobs, I think you definitely missed your opportunity. But this team, one positive thing is this team actually looks really good right now. So that's encouraging for Josh Jacobs. They're waiting for him to get healthy, and could definitely have a decent second half of the season. Josh Allen plays football team this week, yes. But really, the Washington football team has not looked at that good defensively. Like, they've been pretty disappointing, in my opinion, defensively. I thought this was going to be one of the best defenses. Now, once again, it's only after week 2. Okay, it's only week 2, so we can see how this offense is going to look for the rest, or this defense. But so far, they haven't been that impressive, especially the cornerbacks. William Jackson was getting burned a lot last week, too. I had high hopes for him coming into the season, but he was getting burned. He should have got burned for that Galladay touchdown, but what held him, which, I mean, was a smart play on his end, but he got burned. Josh Allen or Daniel Jones? I'm still going to go with Josh Allen here. Gibson against Buffalo or CEH? Gibson, give me Gibson. Swift and Hawkinson for Waller, who wins? Swift and Hawkinson side. Marquis Brown or Gaskin for flex? As long as Marquise Brown, okay, he's somebody else. Let me double check on Marquise Brown. Didn't he get downgraded to a did not practice Thursday? What about Friday? Did he practice? Legitimate. Did he practice? Listen is questionable. Okay, as long as he plays, I like him personally. I like Brown a lot this week. As long as he plays. Goddard or Logan Thomas? Give me Goddard. Why does Steelers defense always get plagued with injuries? Is this a curse? Yeah, honestly, they do. They do get hurt quite a bit. Is it a curse? I wouldn't say as big as a curse as the San Francisco running back position. My gosh, everybody's already banged up. That running back backfield is always hurt. They're always hurt over there. Pick 2, we got OBJ, Marvin Jones, DJ Moore, or DJ Chark. Is his name Cephas? Is that how you say his name? I had T. Higgins, but he's doubtful. So out of those guys, I like OBJ, with my voice cracking, OBJ and Marvin Jones. I would go OBJ and Marvin Jones. And haven't said it, but appreciate everybody being a part of the live stream. And if you haven't already, do me a big favor, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel or follow over on TikTok. We're live over on YouTube. Want to come over, check out the YouTube. Appreciate every single one of you. Who do I start, Shepard or Woods? For me personally, Woods. Corey Davis or Pittman Jr. For me, Pittman. Do I trade Swift and Keenan for Chubb? No, I wouldn't do that. I would keep Swift. Listen, I've been preaching it all off season, okay? And I'm still going to go strong. Barring injury, DeAndre Swift in PPR is going to finish as a top 10 back in PPR leagues, as a top 10 back in fantasy football this year. And if you don't have DeAndre Swift or somebody's sitting him this week, go out and get DeAndre Swift because they don't value DeAndre Swift. Julio or Jamar Chase? I like Julio unless T. Higgins is out. Give me Jamar Chase. Pittman or Cephas? I would go Pittman. Would you still start the Steelers defense or San Francisco? I'm still going to go with the Steelers defense. I don't like... I can't believe that San Francisco... Are they still favored to win that game? I can't believe that they're favored to win that game. I'm still going to go with, personally, Steelers defense, though. Evans or Marquis Brown? Is this, I'm assuming Mike Evans? I would honestly... It's really close between these two right now. Let me see. Where's Mike Evans at in Hollywood? So right now, there's a spot difference between the two of them. I technically have Mike Evans ranked higher, but it's a toss-up between both these guys. I really do like Hollywood this week. Should we give up on DJ Chark? Urban Meyer sucks. No, I wouldn't give up on DJ Chark right now. I wouldn't give up on this offense. There's still hope for this offense, but Urban Meyer has sucked. Okay, he has sucked. But I wouldn't give up on DJ Chark right now. Appreciate the advice, my guy. I'll be back. Hey, appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Which side? Swift and Mike Williams for Chubb. For me personally, I would go Swift and Mike Williams. Listen, Mike Williams is a top 20 wide receiver right now. I get it. Maybe he doesn't end up being that, but DeAndre Swift, man, running the most routes, seeing the most targets in a PPR league, he's absolutely, I don't think you can get rid of Swift right now. What should we do with CMC? Okay, this is what I was saying earlier on TikTok. If you have CMC right now, if you're a CMC manager, okay, and say you're going to start 0-3, or maybe you're starting like 0-2 right now, maybe you're 1-2. Personally, what I would do is with CMC, I would try to trade him for guys that are healthy right now. Obviously, don't trade him for just anything. Like, try to get solid guys on your team. Now, if you're going to be like 2-1, 3-0, like, I definitely think you keep Swift or keep CMC right now. But if you're going to be like 0-3 with CMC hurt, you need to make a move, because if you start 0-4 without your best player, it's not going to look good. Your chances are going to go down significantly to make the fantasy playoffs. So I think at that point you need to try to sell CMC to a guy that, hey, maybe you're, going to give him to the guy that might win the league. Who cares? You need to make the playoffs, and any given Sunday, anything can happen. Don't give him up. Yeah, I wouldn't give him up unless you're like honestly going to start 0-3. Then, I do think you can't go 4 weeks without your number one pick. It's just, you can't do that 0-3. Like, your chances to make the fantasy, and that's all you want to do. That's all you want to do. Unless you're in like a dynasty league, then I wouldn't give them up. But if you're in just like a redraft, you can't start 0-3 with CMC on your team. You need to trade him at that point. You need to trade him, get some valuable pieces in return, and because he could certainly be out for 4 weeks here. Could certainly happen. Will Henderson play tomorrow? I don't know if he's going to play. I like to think so, but it's still a terrible matchup for him regardless. Sterling Shepard, Logan Thomas for Kittle, who wins? I like Kittle's side, honestly. Who are some people I should look to trade CMC for? Well, I'm not giving him up for just anything. I'm still looking for at least like a top 15 running back and a top 15 wide receiver. Like, look for the team that's in first place. And yes, I hate to say it, but go and try to trade him for the team that's in first place, because they're much more likely to give up valuable pieces for CMC, because they'll be able to afford it and wait on CMC to come back. And here's the thing, it's a hamstring issue, okay? Like, we like to think that players are going to be fine once they come back, but it's a hamstring issue. This could be a lingering thing all throughout the season. Like, certainly can be. And here's a big thing with CMC, okay? Here's the big thing about CMC is that CMC coming into the NFL, like into the draft, okay? CMC was a talented player, but there was a lot of scouts that said the same thing. Number one, just doesn't have the frame to withstand a big NFL workload. When he had the 400 fantasy points, he was overworked, okay? He had a lot of touches in college, so injuries were a concern. Last year was hurt. We already saw it this year, has a hamstring issue. Now, I'm not saying like he's not a talented player. He's really the only player that can go for 1,000. But at some point you start to think to yourself like, okay, the injuries are starting to add up here. When is it time to actually sell on CMC and maybe get some better players? I'm not saying you do that for absolutely nothing, but if you can get some good pieces and you're 0-3 right now, you need to make a move. You need to make a move. Do I trade A.J. Brown and Henderson for Hawkinson and Damian Harris? A.J. Brown and Henderson for Hawkins? Yes. Well, I would want A.J. Brown and Henderson side, personally. Thoughts on Jamison Crowder because Wilson loves throwing to the slot? Yeah, I mean, once he comes back, like right now you have Berrios, who's the leading target guy for this offense. So, yeah, I mean, I think Jamison Crowder definitely should be rostered. My last question, should I offer Latavius Murray or Tyson Williams and OBJ for Hollywood? No, I wouldn't do that. One guy that you have, Rashad Bateman, that's going to be coming back. Rashad Bateman's going to be coming back, and I think he's going to be a big part of this offense. So I think once he comes back, you're going to have Hollywood's value drop a little bit. So I think right now is a perfect time. Now, obviously, you could have when Rashad Bateman comes back, maybe he's kind of like a non-factor in this offense. But I think that when he comes back, I do think he's going to be involved in this offense. He was a prospect I really like personally coming out of this, out of the draft. So I do think that he'll be involved in this offense. Elijah or Eli, I have Diggs, Cooper, Lockett, Mike Williams, Monty, Taylor, Carson. That's really solid. That's really solid. Would you start Sterling Shepard or Mike Evans? So I have, where do I have? I really like Sterling Shepard. He might be ahead of Mike Evans. Let me double check. No, I have him a couple spots. I have him a couple spots behind Mike Evans, but I really do like Sterling Shepard this week. In a deep league, which tight end is good for the rest of the season? Freiermuth, Kmet, or Jonnu? Okay, I'm going to take my shot on Kmet, and here's why. The other options just aren't, like, tight end is so ugly, right? But with Kmet, hey, you never know with Justin Fields. Maybe Justin Fields likes Kmet. So I'm going to take the shot on Kmet this week and see what happens. Maybe he ends up being like a top 12 option, which is not saying a whole lot for the tight end position. But maybe, Justin Fields really likes him. Could definitely happen. Would you offer David Montgomery and Debo for CMC? Well, yeah, if you're getting CMC, like if you're fine and you're like 3-0, heck yeah, I would do that. Absolutely. What defense you like this week? I mean, I really like Carolina. I also like, who's another defense? I honestly like New Orleans in I like New Orleans and New England. Both those defenses this upcoming week. I think that should be a low-scoring game. I like Arizona's defense. What was the top? Oh, Denver, obviously. Absolute play them. Those are really the defenses I like. Baltimore, I feel good about playing Baltimore this week. Should I start Julio Jones or Rondell Moore? I have Julio Jones higher. Gesicki or Higbee? Higbee. Yes, I have Higbee. Are you buying more stock into Kyler Murray being MVP this year or still sticking with Big Ben? No, I'm definitely buying. I talked about it prior to the season. We made a YouTube video. I'll clip it, okay? My favorite odds to win the MVP, well, I said Patrick Mahomes, obviously, but Kyler Murray was 1,600. I was like, absolutely, I'm buying Kyler Murray for 1,600 to win the MVP. Last year, he was on pace to, and then he ended up getting hurt. Like, if he doesn't get hurt this season, Kyler Murray could certainly, and especially if they win that division's the best division in football. If Arizona wins that division, he should certainly be MVP. Is Claypool and Logan Thomas for Hawkinson a fair trade? Yes. Well, I mean, I think Hawkinson by a mile, but if you're getting Hawkinson, if you want to offer that, I certainly would. Bills defense this week? Yeah, I do like Bills defense this week as well. The Bills defense looks pretty legit. But they've also played a team without Tua for a majority of the game and Noodle Arm Ben Roethlisberger. So how good is that Bills defense? I think it's good, but you also have to look at who they're playing. Jamar Chase, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, D-Hop, DK sit 1. Out of all of them, I would sit. So if T. Higgins is out, I'm going to start Jamar Chase over Mike Williams. But if T. Higgins plays, I'm going to go Mike Williams, I would sit. Drop Jamal Williams or Michael Carter stashing. No, I wouldn't drop either one of those guys personally. I wouldn't, just because, like, here's the Jets offense, okay? I know that Braxton Berrios has been, like, the main guy, but you also have to look at, well, he's been leading this team in target, but you also have to look at, like, who they played last week. Last week they played New England. What does New England do? They'd like to take away your best player, who Corey Davis is considered their best player on the offensive side of the ball. So, I mean, Corey Davis had a terrible week last week, and I think that it will be up from here for him and Elijah Moore. So, I really like Michael Carter going forward. You have Coleman's out this week. Last week you had Michael Carter lead this backfield in touches. He looked by far the best. And you had Robert, is his name Saleh? Is that how you say his last name? I don't know how to say his last name. But he came out, so the quote was that, of course, the media likes to just take their own little thing. Michael Carter looked really good or something like that. I forget what the exact quote was, but if you go back and read the whole quote, he talked about all the running backs, but at the very end of what he was saying, he goes, but Michael Carter looked really good this past weekend. I was very impressed. So I think it's only a matter of time till Michael Carter really starts to get all the snaps, not all the snaps, but not even majority. I want to say like 60% of the snaps in this backfield. They didn't draft Michael Carter for nothing. Michael Carter was really good in college. Bears defense or Dolphins defense? Oh gosh. Neither. If I have to pick one, I'm going Bears defense because with Tua out, this whole team looked terrible last week. Flex, Cordell Patterson, Kareem Hunt, or Elijah Mitchell available. I'm still going to go with Kareem Hunt, but it's really close between him and Patterson. If Elijah Mitchell is obviously out, which I believe he's going to be out. And unfortunately, is that game Monday night too? Or no, that's Sunday night. Monday night's the Dallas game. So you're not going to really have the luxury. So you're going to have to pull the trigger. I would go with Kareem Hunt. I'm starting Denver Broncos defense. I'm going to start Denver's defense. Absolutely. They're my top. This is one of the better defenses in the NFL. Denver is. So this week against the Jets, absolutely start them. Stafford or Daniel Jones? Stafford for me. I have Wilson and Hurts. Should I trade one away? Yeah, I mean, I would try to trade one away. And which one? That's tough. I'd probably go with Jalen Hurts, but it's really close between both of them. I would try to trade one. Like, I just traded away. Okay, maybe you think this is a bit crazy, but I just traded away Dak because I have Trey Lance. It's only a matter of time till Trey Lance starts, but it's only a matter. Like, I love Trey Lance, and then I also have Fields. I love Fields going forward, so I traded away Dak. I hate drafting quarterbacks early, anyways, but Dak fell to a spot that I was like, all right, this is really good. It was in the 6th round. Late 6th round too, so I was like, I'll draft Dak. But I hate drafting quarterbacks early. I hate it. Cannot stand drafting quarterbacks early. Do you think I can pull off a Mark Andrews, Tyson Williams, and Trey Sermon for Travis Kelce to do a running back? Probably not, but hey, you could definitely try. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try. Like, always try to like, listen, I send out shit trades all the time. I send out terrible trades all the time. So I personally would always, whenever, try to send a trade. Sermon or Javonte Williams? Sermon or Javonte Williams and Hurts or Rodgers? Oh, okay, so between those guys. So for me, Let me see. Where do I have Javonte Williams ranked? I would go with Trey Sermon this week. As long as Elijah Mitchell's out, I like Trey Sermon. Hurts or Rodgers? I believe I have Rodgers. Let me double check. Do I have Rodgers one spot higher? Need to check this right quick. I have Jalen Hurts higher, so I will go with Hurts. I have Hurts higher than Aaron Rodgers, so give me Jalen Hurts. Where's Debo and Ridley for Devontae, who wins? I would say that's pretty close, honestly. I guess I would say right now, I mean, Debo's looking pretty good. Debo looks really good. As long as he stays healthy, he could certainly be the wide receiver one for this offense. I think that's personally, I would go with Ridley, but it is really close because obviously Devontae Adams is an absolute stud. In the flex, would you start James Robinson, Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson, or Fournette? I'm leaning towards Drake, but knowing that's a risky. I mean, I would personally go with Allen Robinson over all of them. But is Josh Jacobs officially out? Is he officially out? Doubtful. He's doubtful. I'm assuming he doesn't play. Did he even practice this week? Like, I do like Kenyon Drake, but I would personally go with Allen Robinson. Because you do have, what's his face? Peyton Barber had 13 carries last week. Like, why? Why would you pay that much money? What was it, like $4 million a year for Kenyon Drake if you're gonna have Peyton Barber run 13 times? That shit makes no sense to me. I mean, I don't get that kind of stuff when coaches do that. Makes no sense. Gibson for CEH and Moore, who wins? I'm assuming that's DJ Moore. I think that's a pretty fair trade. Me personally, I like Moore though. You think Lamar is going to play? I think and should I start him over Daniel Jones? Yes, absolutely. Yes, I would go with who is it? Yeah, Lamar. Is Allen Robinson a good trade? Yes, absolutely. Allen Robinson is a great trade target right now. Do you think Hunt and James White for Carson and Singletary is a good trade? I would want it to Carson's side by far. You gained a subscriber. Love your passion with this. Appreciate you subscribing. And hey, that's what I'm here for. I do a lot of research. Am I always right? No, I'm not. I wish I was, but I do a lot of research, look at a lot of different things. So I try hard. All right. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you. And appreciate you subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that like button for me. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I got Kyler Murray in the 5th round and was thankful for it. MVP season. Here we go. Absolutely. Kyler Murray's a stud. He was by far I ranked him this past season as my QB1. He's can keep up with Lamar in terms of rushing, and I guess Lamar is a little bit higher than him, but he's a better passer than Lamar. Shepard or Woods? For me, I'm still going to go with Woods this week. Where was I at right now? Drop Dolphins D or Giants D for Bengals. I would drop Bengals defense. I think Bengals defense is terrible, personally. Chase Edmonds and Jared Cook for Michael Carter and Mark Andrews, who wins. I'm going to go with Chase Edmonds. I love Chase Edmonds. But I like Michael Carter, but I still love Chase Edmonds. Mike Williams, A-Rob, or Terry? This week, let me double check that, actually. Where do I have Terry? I believe Terry. Yeah, Terry's one spot ahead of Allen Robinson this week. So I would go Terry, but he's one spot ahead of Allen Robinson. Start Marvin Jones or Claypool with Devontae Johnson out. Give me Claypool. Mike Williams, A-Rob or Terry? A-Rob. Or no, Terry, I said Terry. Chase Edmonds and Jared Cook for Michael Carter. Yes, I would do that. Well, I like Chase Edmonds' side, personally. Start Marvin Jones or Claypool. I feel like I answered these ones, didn't I? Claypool. Hey, Tyler, you have a college team? I'm guessing Penn State. If so, hey, you know. Yes, Penn State. I do like Penn State. I'm not nearly as big into college football as I am the NFL. I love NFL. But yes, Penn State is the college team. Yes. Do you have a college team? And if so, who's your favorite college team? Montgomery or Tyson Williams this week? For me, David Montgomery traded Tyson Williams for Gaskin. I think that's decent. When Tua comes back, I think Myles Gaskin's going to be just fine. Which two? Osborne, Clyde, or James White? For me, Clyde and James White. Would you start Gibson this week? I would start Gibson. I mean, it depends on your other options, but Jonathan Taylor or James Robinson, I'm still going Jonathan Taylor. But I do think James Robinson is a great trade target for you this upcoming week. Well, right now. James Robinson has ran the third most routes at the running back position this season. Third most routes at the running back position. He's going to be okay as the season progresses. Out-touched Carlos Hyde this past week, 14-2. You love to see it. And he's by far the better talent. Urban Meyer, this offense, I think will get going a little bit. Now, it's not going to be great, but it's going to be a little bit better. Need a little bit of time. UNC, hey. UT here. Hook 'em. I did like, so when I was younger, this was back when, that was probably my favorite college game ever, was the Texans and, well, the Texas Longhorns, Texas and USC, that Rose Bowl that year with Vince Young, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart. Man, that was like one of my favorite games because I loved Vince Young back then. I did love Texas, and that year they played Penn State, and it was a whiteout. That's when Penn State had Michael Robinson that year. That was a really good game too. But that's probably one of my favorite college games ever. Love that. I love that game. I remember, I'll never forget where I was. I was in my living room, my parents' house, stayed up that whole night, had school the next day, watched that game, cheered when Vince Young ran it in to the pylon, stuck out the ball. Oh, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful game. And then, of course, you had the bonehead. Reggie Bush, was... I think he was going to get tackled. Yeah, he was getting tackled and then tries to lateral the ball for some reason. Like, just trying to do too much in the moment. It's like, dude, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? But, man, that was a great game. And USC fan I saw there, USC had some baller teams back then, too. That was when USC, they had Pete Carroll. Man, they were great. Any secret stashes on the waiver wire? That seems... So me personally, listen, I've always been a fan of Justin Jackson, okay? I've always been a fan. I do think that he's a much better player than Larry Roundtree. If you look at Larry Roundtree's workout metrics, they're absolutely terrible. They're god-awful. Okay, let me pull it up for you here on YouTube. Let me pull it up for you, okay? Let's look at Larry Roundtree, player profile. Let's look up Larry Roundtree. Okay, let's look him up. And let's look at his workout metrics. Look at that. Absolutely awful. Spark athlete, 6th percentile. Trash, okay? Obviously he's a much better athlete than I am. Obviously I can say this in my basement, fatso in my basement. But, in terms of an NFL athlete, trash. Now let's look at Justin Jackson. The problem with Justin Jackson, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. But in terms of his workout metrics, much, much better than Larry Roundtree. I have a hard time believing that Justin Jackson won't be a big part of this offense if anything were to happen to Austin Eckler. For me, I love Justin Jefferson as a prospect. He just hasn't stayed healthy. That, to me, is the biggest problem with Justin Jackson. So I really like him as a stash. Possibly. I'm going to just put that back over there. But I like him as a stash. Also, another stash would be a guy like, I think that Alex Collins, although Travis Homer played a little bit more than you'd like to see. But there's not a whole lot of stashes personally, because this past week was really bad in terms of waiver wire kind of stuff. So, but I like that. Just stash like backup running backs. Do you think Hopkins will play? I do think Hopkins will play this week. What are your thoughts on Callaway? Man, I love Callaway heading into the season. I'm sorry. He was definitely one guy that I got wrong, but I will say there's still a little bit of hope. They've had tough matchups. He didn't really need to do anything week 1. But if he doesn't, it's going to be another tough matchup for him this week, but he's droppable if you want to pick up somebody. Dude, I watched that game live. We'll always remember the game. Everyone said USC would beat the snot out of us. Yes, USC definitely that year was really good. But Vince Young was amazing. And I also remember that year because Vince Young, Texas, weren't they number 1? And then they struggled against, like, wasn't it like Oklahoma State or something for the first half? And then I think they lost the number 1 spot that year because it was close. They were like losing at halftime, and that's how they used to do stuff back then. Hold on, Jess. Okay. You think Mixon, or wait, you think Mixon will outshine, or Metcalf will outshine? Yes. Well, I don't think necessarily he's going to outshine Tyler Lockett, but I definitely think both of them are really valuable as the season progresses. I think better days are ahead of DK Metcalf, and if you can get DK Metcalf in a trade right now, absolutely try to do it. They're like, I made this on a video. You have Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf are both seeing a 29 or 30% target share, so like they'll be fine. They'll be okay as the season progresses. Like DK Metcalf, absolutely. Do I try to trade away Mark Andrews and Terry for D-Hop and Kyle Pitts? Yeah, I would do that. Yes, I would do that, absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry, Siklan. That's Nightbot for you, okay? I'm sorry with Nightbot. Nightbot apparently doesn't like all caps. He's very... I thought we were going to try to fix that, Kyle. I don't know if Kyle's still here. I don't think Kyle's in the chat right now. But sorry about the... sorry about Nightbot. Is Sterling Shepard and Logan Thomas for A-Rob a fair trade? I mean, I would want the A-Rob side. Is it fair? I would say A-Rob's making out better. But I do think it's somewhat fair with Sterling Shepard looking really good right now. Robert Woods could have a better game than Kupp. I do think like it's a matter of time. Like Cooper Kupp right now is seeing the second highest target share. It's definitely going to go down. But I think both these guys are really valuable, and Robert Woods is a prime buy low candidate because I like I talked about in my video, right? So with Cooper Kupp, it was really interesting because you probably had a lot of people that were like, I don't know if I should go Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods. And then they drafted Robert Woods, and now that they're seeing Cooper Kupp going off, they're like the Robert Woods managers are definitely like, my gosh, I picked the worser player, and they're probably just down on themselves. So I just think it's a great opportunity to buy Robert Woods right now. DK and Russ for Keenan Allen, Josh Allen, and Brandon Cooks, a great trade for me. DK and Russ for Keenan Allen. Yeah, I think that's a solid trade. Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll appreciate if somebody's answering questions. Appreciate it. Everybody's still hanging out over in TikTok. And if you aren't already, YouTube is where it's at, baby. Should I drop Zach Wilson for Wentz or Big Ben in Superflex League? No, I would honestly keep Zach Wilson. I think better days are ahead for Zach Wilson. I know it hasn't been pretty, but he's honestly played some really tough defenses and gets another really tough defense this week. I think that better days will be ahead, though. I use Brandon Cooks to buy low on Robert Woods, too. I think both those guys are right next to each other. I think Brandon Cooks is looking really good as well. I'm thinking Barber because of what Gruden said about him. What do you like? Oh wait, did somebody ask a question about Barber? What was the question about Barber? I'm sorry, did I miss it? Let me know. Unless you're saying like Barber's a good stash. Maybe that's what you're saying. I'm not sure. I think Kenny G will improve. Ingram is coming back. Saquon will improve. So Shepard's targets will go down. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think Kenny G he's not looking terrible. Okay. I don't think he looks bad. And I think Danny Dimes honestly is playing pretty well right now. I did not like Danny Dimes coming into the season, but right now he's definitely looking decent. Rondale Moore and Marvin Jones in the flex non-PPR. I'm going to go with Marvin Jones. Give me your top 5 bold predictions for this week. Murray ends with 6 TDs. Eckler has 150 total yards. Steelers lose to the Bengals, and Tyson has a breakout game with 25 fantasy points are mine. Top 5 predictions. Bold predictions, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm going to say Courtland Sutton's going to finish this week as a top 10 wide receiver. DeAndre Swift's going to finish the week as a top 5 running back. Ooh. I think that the New York Jets, okay, you want to talk about a bold prediction. Here you go. I can't believe the Denver Broncos are going to start 3-0. So I'm going to say the New York Jets beat the Denver Broncos this week. There's a bold prediction for you. You want to talk about bold one. There's a bold prediction for you. So the New York Jets, although I don't truly believe it, but let's just say New York Jets over the Denver Broncos, baby. Should I start Michael Gallup, or should I pick up Michael Gallup and hold on to him? I would, yes. The Jonathan Taylor owner. We can't say owner anymore, guys. Fantasy football community does not like that. You do not own these players. You are a manager. In my league as a huge Chiefs homer. Just offered CEH for Taylor. Do I take it? I want Jonathan Taylor. Absolutely. Is Josh Gordon going to be someone to get? No, absolutely not. Should I hold on to CEH or trade? I would personally try to trade CEH. I asked Barber or Connor. Oh, I'm sorry. So Barber or Connor in the flex. Yeah, as long as Josh Jacobs is out, I would go Peyton Barber. Yeah. No. What? No. Mike Tagliere passed away? Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that's really sad. I'm not gonna lie. Now I'm getting a little emotional. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I didn't know Mike Tagliere. That's honestly sad as I'm not gonna lie. I really liked Mike Tagliere, dude. That's like Mike Tagliere, I remember listening to Mike Tagliere like so before I started to try to do this, Mike Tagliere was honestly like my favorite person to listen to. And I like at work all the time, like I would listen to him like I used to work at a daycare and it was always like during nap time. I would honestly put his videos on for hours and listen to his videos. Like I loved Mike Tagliere. So that's honestly so sad. He was honestly one of the best, like one of my favorite dudes. Like I felt like whenever I asked him questions on Twitter too, he would always answer my questions. For having such a large base, that is all right. Dude. Wow. Um that's honestly sad. That's really sad. Um Mike Tagliere honestly was like he was really good in the fantasy football community. Should I hold on to CH or try to trade? I would try to trade. Giants or Saints defense? Giants defense. Yeah, he was hospitalized since August. That's I've been like keeping up with his is his name I don't Tabby for his wife. Yeah. I've been keeping up with her tweets and everything. You know he's been on like a ventilator for a long time. He was on like I really like Tags a lot. Like I said, Tags was honestly one of my favorite guys to listen to when I was working. It was him and Kyle Yates. I would listen to him. No offense to Kyle. I didn't really I love Mike Tagliere's takes. I loved his takes. Yes, definitely condolences. It's cool that if you want to end live chat, no, it's okay. I'll keep going for tax. We'll keep it going. He was honestly, he was really good. He was one of my favorite guys in the fantasy football community. He was honestly probably my favorite. There's two guys I always listen to. I always listen to Mike Tagliere and Jeff Radcliffe. Those were my favorite like go-to guys for fantasy football advice. Before I like started to do all of this, those were definitely two of my favorite guys in the fantasy football community. I love Mike Tags. Amari Cooper, Debo, Hollywood Brown, and Sterling Shepard. I would go with Justin Jefferson. Let me double check this. Justin Jefferson. And honestly, I'm going to end this. I appreciate everybody being part of the live stream. I'll be live later tonight. I'm going to go and just like process this because it is. I know like Mike Tagliere doesn't know me or anything like that. But like I said, like there is a day like when Kobe Bryant passed, dude. I took that hard. Like it felt like it was a member of my family, honestly, that like passed. And for some reason it just like all day, like I was just like in this mopey mood about Kobe. And it's like different when you like see these people and you feel like you're actually like a part of them, I mean, it's not that obviously like you guys talk and I appreciate like all like everything we do are back and forth and everything. It's just like some people look at it and they think it's silly, but like at the same time it's like you grew up and you like idolize these people, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know. So I'm gonna end the stream. Appreciate everybody being part of the live stream. I'll be live later tonight. Appreciate you guys. Peace.